I was just sitting there talking to a bunch of gods. And we were talking about how the sign says you can only park for 3 hours as a customer. And we were like, because a security guy walked by and we're like, uh-oh, I don't know what the rules are. I've told you guys the honest truth. I just park or do things and people tell me when I did it wrong. Or because I don't know. Or like when it's dark, you can't read these signs that great. But like it's daytime now. So I look around, it says 3 hour customer parking. And then me and a bunch of gods were like, uh-oh, we have to be a customer. And then we forgot we had bought a coffee. We're like, oh, wait, we bought our McDonald's for the morning. We're the customer. And then I always get Circle K soda. Since I've been stuck in the area, I grab Circle K soda. So I'm still a customer of this little shopping section. I was like, oh, okay, then I have a right to be sitting here. Okay. Because I don't know. I don't pay attention to the rules. When you drive for Lyft, you just park. And you always need somewhere to park, so you don't think about it. You just park. And people tell you when you can't or whatever. And then when I decided to be this roaming power of God, they just tell you when you can't take a nap or sleep here or there. And you just got to go find somewhere else to take your nap, sleep somewhere. And it sucks because you can't put your power of God in that section. But, hey, just people make their little rules. And as long as they're not picking on a dead God or something gross that needs to be taken to court, it's just, companies and their rules. But I was sitting here and some God was laughing about how I was just destroyed thinking yesterday about how Jesus knew that cancer children, worse death or emergency medical realities would exist because they were going to kill Jesus. So Jesus had to prepare for his own death, horrifying in and of itself. And then as Jesus knew he was going to have to die, Jesus could see that it was going to bring a lot of bad things to the planet and more. And boy, I was just destroyed about it. And these gods are laughing because I guess I went on a weird tangent. I remember I was talking back to somebody that was laughing. I went into the middle of nowhere to just blubber and be left alone. And still somebody was somewhere laughing and I couldn't take it. And I just started being a bitch or being rude or being flippant. And these gods are laughing. That, and according to these gods, more than one person was around. So I guess I started going on a tangent, and all these people felt bad. So I guess as I was yelling and being mean back, to respond to somebody laughing when I couldn't take it when I'm all blubbery and emotional. Apparently there was quite a group of people out there being impacted by what I was saying. And then these gods are laughing and saying, boy, Bonnie, you get way out there sometimes. And I was thinking, while they're laughing about me getting way out there sometimes, I was thinking of how nice it is that I have nothing and I seem like I am nothing. Because I'm God. Yesterday, I was God. Today, I'm God. Tomorrow, I'm going to be God. Forever, I'm God. Forever, I will always be God. Nobody ever takes time to realize that. Jesus never took time to realize that. I wish I could go back in history and possess Jesus. And have Jesus walking down the road saying, look at this. I'm Jesus. I had to buy a beautiful outfit at the store when my daddy, God Almighty, could just whip one out with his powers. I could be flying, but instead I'm walking. And you know what? I'm still Jesus. The world made deals with the devil, so I don't have a house. I don't have a church. Most of this planet don't like me. But yesterday I was Jesus. Today I'm Jesus. Well, damn, tomorrow I'm going to be Jesus. You know, you get weighed down when you don't have a buck because it's such a society, human mentality thing. You get so weird about life and what you have or don't have. It's a mentality, people, human-y thing. And I like to reflect about just what is. You know, as they laugh at a dollar store, you know, you're laughing at the existence of a dead God that came to die so you had possibilities. But you'd rather laugh and degrade and insult a God in death to see what kind of bad possibilities could pop out. You know what? That's a good thing to talk about today. I hope you guys think or say my queen, my queen, my queen today. I would like you to talk to angels and gods and experts about this. What you do towards that statue, it'll get you stuff more than like an offering. Okay, so you could have a Jesus statue. And, okay, I'm going to pretend to be all you people. My queen, my queen, my queen, I have a Jesus statue. I'd like to do an offering. Okay, I'm the Archangel Michael. Go ahead and gather 3 $1 bills, but only grab a $1 bill after you have prayed 7 times. Now, the prayer you need to say is, you know, blank, blank prayer in the sadness of the ancestry of God or something. So you do it, and you have your $3 by the end, and you put it right next to the Jesus statue. It gives you obvious, amazing things right away. If you don't see the obviousness, then you just, my queen, my queen, my queen. I did my $3. I didn't see the obviousness in the power of God, like in my life, my school, my house, my car. I didn't see it. And they will show you and prove that it will always happen. The only time you don't see obviousness in the power of God is if you have done wrong. So as you put in an offering, so you have to be worthy to give God an offering in the first place. So when you put in an offering, if you have not made more right than wrong in your life, so if you have done bad or wrong things, the offering sometimes will go into making all your bad or wrong things better, so you could be more beautiful in the eyes of God by making more restitution for any bad things in your life you had done. That's the only time you don't see it right away. So, but you could still think or say my queen, my queen, my queen, and find out why it didn't show up really beautiful, and just do it 2 or 3 times until it's like you've covered whatever bad stuff you had done in your life or whatever. And gods and angels can go through every bad thing you've ever done, every bad thing in your brain, every bad word you shouldn't have said. Like, they know everything. But if you don't want to go over every bad thing you've ever done, you can also just skip through all that stuff and just like ask them for a summary. They'll know that you don't want to know the details of your every sin throughout life. Now that's an offering. So. Oh, sorry. Okay. And then some days are called freebie days. On a freebie day, you get to pick what you think would be the most fun, beautiful offering to Jesus' statue and to honor the gods. And you get to just pick or choose. That Buddha always likes the acorn, but you think maybe Jesus would be real proud of Native Americans and an acorn that day and stuff like that, where you get to take your heart and soul and love for God and Jesus stuff and kind of build an offering that day, because that's freebie day. Then there's like just promotion of good karma, promotion of good destiny and fate and stuff like that. And that's where you would do like this. I'm gonna pretend to be you guys. My queen, my queen, my queen. I did my offering for my statue. And now I just want to do my smaller direction offer. I want to do my smaller stuff, not my main offerings to the heavens, but like my smaller sections of like mini smaller offerings. And they can tell you stuff like Jesus never got to enjoy Christmas, but Christmas was in Jesus' honor. So for a week, it'd be really, really great if Jesus could hear this word about Christmas as you walk by the statue every time you walk by the statue. So you walk by the statue and say that word that makes Jesus think of so many beautiful things that bring him like peace and therapy. And you get all these like rewards per day. And then like I said, if you have any sin or something, it might not work for a few days or something while it's making restitution for your old stuff, whatever bad thing you have done. And then it shows up right away, but it's not as substantial. So when you do the offering one, it's more substantial. The power of God's more lucrative, wealthy, and fun. The smaller stuff is very beneficial, but not as superficial. Like when you do that one where you would say something at the statue for a certain amount of days, it helps you get promotions better. It helps you have stability in your existence into the future better. It provides you a lot of cool stuff, but not always like superficial fun, like making your car smell extra perfect abnormally or something. Which, hey, everybody does their offerings to God. Like you give God what you want. That's what it means. You know, nobody wants to give 10% of their income to anybody. It's an arrangement that you give 10% of your income to God because you want something specific from God. That's why God's make this process, because that's why it works and that's how it works. But I just wanted to kind of go over it and hope that you guys will think or say my queen, and follow these step-by-steps with your statues and more. When it comes to my statue, you have to be the best of the best of the best. So I don't know, goes how it goes. And somebody was just mentioning that not that many people listen to my posts. Yeah, but when I'm gone, this will viral like holy manoli. Just like for Picasso, and Jesus only became famous when he was gone. But if it's that important, I always put it in your brains through my queen too. So also, if it's that important and you have said or thought my queen, you guys don't have to watch every post or every video. If it's that important, I'll zip it through your minds or into your spirit and souls. So you guys are always like up to date with everything. Okay, that's all.